Welcome viewers, good evening. I want to welcome you this evening as we go through what ulcers is. This evening we want to study and understand what ulcers is, what causes it, and how we can protect ourselves against ulcers. Ulcers is a common disease and it's a big problem in today's generation. Many people complain about ulcers, to the extent that some of us have thought that ulcers is their personal ailment or personal disease. I want us to get to understand what ulcers are, how it manifests itself, and which parts of the body it affects. So without much ado, let's get on and understand what is ulcers. Now, before we venture into what ulcers is, I want us to understand that the stomach is made up of 4 layers. And without understanding these 4 layers, then you might not be able to understand what ulcers is. So the stomach is made up of 4 layers. We have the longitudinal layer of muscles, we have the circular layer of muscles, and then also we have the oblique layer of muscles before we reach the mucosal lining. So when you talk about ulcers, then we are actually talking about the soreness or the wounds that may come or may affect the lining of the stomach, the lining of the esophagus, or the lining of the duodenum. Those are the 3 areas which are affected by ulcers. Now, the stomach in general, for it to protect itself against digestion or being digested by the digestive enzymes, the mucous membrane plays a very, very important role. It is actually the protective layer that protects the inner lining of the stomach against the digestive juices or against the strong acid in the stomach. So ulcers in general is the soreness or the wound that can arise in the stomach wall, or a wound that can arise in the duodenum wall, or a wound that can arise on the esophageal wall. So that means therefore that we have 3 areas which can be affected by ulcers. One area is the esophagus, another area is the stomach, and another area is the duodenum. And so, as the name goes, we shall have now the gastric ulcers, the duodenal ulcers, and the esophageal ulcers. Up to that extent, my viewer, the soreness comes as a result of the mucosal abuse that may result out of attack of a bacteria called H. pylori. That is in abbreviation H. pylori. So when H. pylori attacks the mucosal lining, it erodes the mucous membrane. And when the mucous membrane is eroded, then now the first layer of the stomach is left bare and can be attacked by the digestive juices. So that therefore leads to the soreness of the lining of the stomach, or the soreness of the lining of the duodenum. It is not only H. pylori bacteria that can cause that soreness, but it can also be caused by overuse or prolonged use of anti-inflammatory drugs. And today we are faced with a lot of complications which can lead us, or can lead one into going over the counter and buying some prescription drugs, not knowing the effect of those prescription drugs, the effect that they have on the mucosal lining. So prolonged use of anti-inflammatory drugs like aspirin or brufen can cause the mucosal lining to be eroded. So, and once it is eroded, therefore now the digestive enzymes can have a direct attack on the lining of the duodenum, of the stomach, and so it causes that soreness, and that soreness is what now we term as ulcers. When somebody has ulcers of the stomach or the duodenum, there will be symptoms that shall show, or some pain that shall make the person to be alert that something is wrong in the stomach. And one of the symptoms will be a sharp pain between the chest and the navel. So when you find that there is normally a sharp pain between the ribs, the lower part of the rib and the navel, then you may suspect that there is some kind of ulcers. And especially if that pain is occurring when you ought to have been having a meal, but maybe there is a delayance in having your meal. When you are used to, for example, you are used to taking your lunchtime meal at around 12:30, and time is passing, you are going to 1:30 or approaching 2, then you start feeling that sharp pain, then suspect that you are actually developing ulcers. So that sharp pain will alert you that something is wrong. Now again, a second symptom, you will find that sometimes the pain arises in the middle of the night. It is a pain that awakens you in the upper part of the stomach, just above the navel. Then know that that is a sign of ulcers. Another thing, again, you may find that you are feeling, after eating a very short, a very small or light meal, a small amount of meal, and you find that you're feeling full. And with that pain, if you are able to monitor how the pain is behaving, then automatically you'll know that you are suffering or developing a sore in the stomach, and also a sore in the duodenum. So many a times we don't understand, especially when we go we go to hospital and you are told you are suffering from peptic ulcers. Then you start wondering, what is this peptic ulcers? Peptic ulcers is actually an ulcer or a sore that is developing out of attack by H. pylori, or out of misuse of anti-inflammatory drug. Then now, because of the mucosal lining has been eroded, then therefore now the acidic or acidic content, or plus the digestive enzymes, now have time or have chance to act on the inner layer of the stomach or the duodenum. So the term peptic actually results or comes or is a combination of those ulcers that can be found at the duodenum, and also that ulcer or the sore that can be found in the stomach. Now, many a times we find that there are prescription treatments or medication that we can get from the hospital, and some of them will hinder the production of hydrochloric acid in the stomach, so that the time when the production of the hydrochloric acid in the stomach is reduced, the stomach lining can have time to heal itself. So some of the medication that you are given will actually block or reduce the amount of hydrochloric acid that is produced, so that that area is able to heal itself and come back to normal. Again, we are able also to use antibiotics, especially when the treatment or the test proves that that ulceration or the soreness is as a result of an attack by H. pylori bacteria. Then, of course, we shall be able to use antibiotics. Now let us move and see what ulcers of the esophagus, or how ulcers of the esophagus is caused, or how it comes about. Now the esophagus, my dear viewer, understand that the esophagus is the connection between the mouth and the stomach. So it is a tube that connects the mouth and the stomach, and the food is able to move through it into the stomach. Now, when you look at the esophagus, you'll find that there is a valve, the esophageal sphincter, that prevents the food material from moving back from the stomach back into the mouth. Yeah, so that valve is bent or is strong enough, or should be strong enough, to ensure that once the food has reached the stomach, the content of the stomach does not come back again onto the esophagus. So esophageal ulcers can come as a result of the valve being weak, so that the stomach content is now pushed back again into the esophagus. So the strong acid will actually cause ulceration or some wounds or burning feeling on the area of the esophagus. Remember that even the area, the lining of the esophagus has some mucus, and the mucous membrane actually runs all the way from the mouth, the esophagus, the stomach, the duodenum, the large intestine, the colon, up to the anus has that mucus, because that area must be protected by that mucus. So even on the esophagus, once the stomach content, the acidic stomach content is pushed up, then the mucosal lining of that area will be eroded, and once it is eroded, the impact of the acid shall be felt. And that if it is continuous, or if it is frequent, then you shall have sores, and those sores in the esophagus will lead or will make you have ulcers of the esophagus. So it is mostly worsened by acid reflux, and also the acid content or the acidic content of the stomach. On the other hand, again, sometimes we may take potassium pills. Potassium pills can be taken especially for a person who has low level of potassium. And remember that potassium is required for proper functioning of the heart, proper functioning of the kidneys. And so sometimes when potassium level is seen to be low, then you can be introduced into potassium pills. Potassium pills must be taken with a lot of water. Otherwise, if they are taken with little water, you'll find that corrosion of the mucosal lining can happen in the esophagus, and with time it can lead to ulcers of the esophagus. So the symptoms or the feeling will actually be a burning feeling on the esophagus or on the neck area. I want to say that individuals or people who have low immune system, sometimes they can suffer from ulcers, not because of the attack of the bacteria H. pylori, sometimes not even because of the use of anti-inflammatory drugs, but because of the compromised immune system. Now the whole body is not protected enough. So for people who have compromised immune system, ulceration can even come as a result of infection by a candid, or sometimes infections by viruses can lead to ulcers of the stomach or esophagus or the duodenum. Now I'm always happy to say that God never left us without remedies. We have remedies that can help us, those that are very close to us in our environment, and nature has always come in aid of the human being, especially in times of need. So even in terms of a person suffering from ulcers, be it ulcers of the stomach, ulcers of the duodenum, ulcers of the esophagus, you'll always find that there's a remedy that can assist you. One of such remedies, dear viewer, is soya beans. Somebody who is suffering from ulcers, continuous or frequent use of soya beans will actually assist the body in recovering, assist the stomach in recovering. So let us embrace the use of soya. But even before you suffer from ulceration of the stomach, soya beans is very important as part of your meal, because a wise man once said that if your food cannot be your medicine, then you'll take medicine as your food. So soya beans is food, and it's also very good for counteracting, or a remedy, can be used as a remedy for ulcers. Now, another food item that is also very good for ulcers is broccoli. Broccoli will affect or will assist the body in terms of ensuring that the mucous membrane is replaced much faster, or it fastens the healing process for a person who has ulcers of the stomach, of the esophagus, and also of the duodenum. Another natural remedy that you can use, dear viewer, is garlic. Garlic can be used to alleviate the suffering and also to fasten the healing of ulcers. What is important about garlic is that garlic is a strong antibiotic. The antibiotic nature of garlic has been proven through research and can actually assist in especially ulcers that is caused by H. pylori. So the presence of H. pylori, you can use garlic to assist in managing the H. pylori, so that in the long run the stomach lining can come back or can heal itself and produce enough mucus to protect the stomach. Another nature or natural remedy that we can use is turmeric. Turmeric, as we all know, turmeric reduces inflammation. And inflammation is a major cause of many complications or diseases or ailments of the body. So once the body is inflamed, it is open to attack by any bacteria, any virus. So turmeric helps in reducing inflammation and swellings of the stomach lining, and so it is very important in the healing process of ulcers. So let us embrace the use of turmeric in our daily food or daily diet, or even once in a week or twice in a week. Don't wait that until you get ulcers is when you start using turmeric. Turmeric should be part of your weekly food or your weekly drink. You can make turmeric as a drink. You can use it also in terms of put it in milk, and also you can take it now in terms of turmeric milk. The turmeric that will really be beneficial is the raw turmeric. The raw turmeric, that now the root that comes from the soil. You wash it, you can crush it, and you boil it with your milk, and you can have it as turmeric milk. Very important, and will help you in terms of managing your ulcers. It allows the ulcers, the stomach lining or the ulcerated stomach lining to heal. So turmeric is very important. Another thing that is another food that we can use also to quicken the healing of our ulcers is raw bananas. Green bananas, when they are taken, when they are cooked, especially with the outer covering without peeling, it's very important, because the green bananas normally has some sticky substance. So when you boil the green banana, you will find that the sticky substance is able to seep into the edible area itself. So once you are taking the green boiled banana, then you are not actually just having nutrition, but you'll also benefit from the healing aspect of the green banana in terms of quickening the healing of the ulcers, and also reducing or prevention of the ulcers itself. But again, also the green banana will protect the mucus layer from further damage by the stomach acid. Another product that we can use, or another natural remedy that we can use, is chamomile. Chamomile, you can easily get the chamomile powder, and it has anti-ulcer properties, thereby helping or quickening the healing of the sores in the stomach, and the sores in the esophagus, and also the sores in the duodenum. I know many of us know chamomile as very good in terms of inducing somebody to sleep. It also is used as a as a soothing drink, especially in the evening, to help the body to sleep soundly, or to help one to have a sound sleep. But also it has been proven that chamomile is good in terms of helping you manage the ulcers and also quicken the process of healing for the ulcers. As we approach the end, dear viewer, allow me emphasize that disease was not meant for man. Actually, in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 29, the Bible records that I, God, made a perfect man, an upright man, but man has resolved in several schemes that are actually bringing disease or suffering to the body. And many a times you'll find that ulcers is worsened by drinks such as carbonated drinks. When you have ulcers and you continue using carbonated drinks, then of course your healing process is delayed. And you may not even think of healing when you continue using carbonated drinks like sodas. They worsen the ulcers or the sores in the stomach. So you'll find that many a times, many of us love taking sodas after a major meal, when actually the Bible does not even recommend taking sodas. So if God says that, if the Bible says that God made an upright man, a perfect man, a man that does not need to suffer from ulcers, then it is true that when you look back, you can find that our own actions can actually disempower us or empower us health-wise. So when you are suffering from ulcers, dear viewer, you don't need or stay away from carbonated drinks, and you'll fasten your healing process and you'll come back to normal. I want to beseech and urge you that do not own ulcers. Do not say that this ulcers of mine is now disturbing me. That ulceration or ailment was not meant to be yours. Embrace what nature can do for you and get back your healing and your health in the fastest possible way. Thank you very much. We come to the end of our presentation this afternoon about ulcers. I welcome you one more time to my channel and subscribe. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. God bless you. Until next time.